All right, thanks for staying with us. Let's bring you the headlines at Nigerian newspapers this morning. We have The Punch, The Daily Sun, The Vanguard, The Nation, and of course, This Day newspaper.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Let's begin with The Punch. Consumers to pay more for cigarettes, alcohol from June 4. Of course, we have details of that one on page 30. Well, federal government raises excise duties, and government must be careful about taxes on productive sectors. That's the LCCI saying there. Well, about taxes on productive sectors. That's the LCCI saying there. Well, if you are a smoker, or, well, not necessarily an alcoholic, or you take some, sip here and there, you might need to pay more. What does this really mean? Of course, we know that the federal government is doing all it can to improve its revenue generation, and this might just be one of the ways, sure ways of doing just that.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And of course, do not also forget, the injuries that, consumption of these items, alcohol and cigarette, the injuries that they cause, to
the health.
People's health.
Since the time that the Surgeon General, warned that cigarette smokers are liable to die young, how much impact really has that had on the habit of smoking?
Well, not really much. Not really much, because people just have certain, appetite for certain things, and you just cannot, hold them back.
Well, government is not trying to stop people's, unhealthy habits. What government is interested in right now is let's just make more money. Drunk motorist kills 4, injures 16 in Lekki toll gate crash. Very unfortunate weekend event there on a Sunday. Nigerians have needlessly lost their lives. Very sad one there. External reserves hit $46 billion, says CBN. It looks like every month Nigeria seems to add about $1 billion to the external reserves. But how much difference really is that to a population like ours? And to consider that Nigeria still spends so much money on importing fuel, for example, 5.6 billion as at 2017. Imagine taking that out on a regular basis from the external reserves. How much really is left for Nigeria to apply to infrastructure, health, and what have you? All right, Nigeria losing revenue to IOCs over delayed PSC review. That's on page 29. You can get details of that. And man abducts pupil 3 after tricking brother with snack. Wow, that's all coming from the front page of The Punch. What else do we have here? This one that came from Senator Shehu Sani. Sage Falano CD flay Senate over 13.5 million naira allowance. That's what the average Nigerian senator gets every month, if what Shehu Sani came out with is anything to go by. And people have been outraged.
Yeah, you're absolutely. Well, that's the same thing. We also have it on the front page of the Nation newspaper now. Let's look at the Nation, and the big headline there is that Army draws battle line against killer herdsmen. That's on the front page of the Nation newspaper, and they are saying, look, stop or face decisive action. In the wake of a herdsman who was arrested holding an AK-47 rifle, and you want to ask yourself, how did he get it? What was he doing with an AK-47?
Well, many Nigerians have been saying, asking the question, really, how is it that an ordinary herdsman, an illiterate herdsman, how does he get an AK-47? And they are saying, look, there must be some big guns, some big wigs behind those people.
And, well, that's it. Let's move forward now. Still on the front page of the Nation newspaper, UNESCO, no fund committed to Osun Road. Federal government hails Mo Abudu, Adichie Omotola, and others.
Nigerian women doing great stuff, making the Nigerian woman look good.
Yeah. That's it. And, excise duty, cigarettes, alcohol to cost more. And, smokers of course, and consumers of alcoholic beverages likely to pay more.
Yeah,
that's it on the front page of the Nation newspaper.
All right, moving on to the Daily Sun. Police nab herdsman over multiple murders. Suspect allegedly killed 16 persons in Plateau State. Well, Mr. President will be visiting that part of the country. Of course, he's already he has been to Nasarawa. He's expected in Benue State today. Of course, if my facts are correct, let's hope Mr. President's visit really will make a difference to these killings in this part of the country. NFIU, that's the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit. Anxiety over Nigeria as Egmont Group meets. Okay. Well, you'll get details of that, of course, in page 6. There's been so much debate about, you know, the Egmont Group, well, exiting Nigeria more or less, saying we're just not doing enough when it comes to the anti-corruption war. I did not call for military intervention. Ekweremadu Saraki, Lord's Deputy Senate President's appointment as professor. Well, you'll get details of that one on page 41 and 40. Recall the statement coming from the Deputy Senate President that the factors that could lead to military intervention are still very much there. And Nigerians took that to mean that he's inviting the military in. On the one hand, people, of course, think that is what he's trying to say. And on the other hand, some people are saying, no, just read between the lines. The things that led to military incursion in the past, have we really gotten over them? And so what it means is that our leadership, our political leadership, should not take things for granted. That, you know, well, at least that's what some think Ekweremadu is trying to say. And he has said clearly, I am not calling for military intervention.
In the end, he has come out to clear himself.
Yeah.
You know.
And he said it on the floor of the House, too. Don't forget, the law actually protects him, you know, gives him immunity over anything he says on the floor of the House. Okorocha draws battle line with Catholic priest. What's going on there? Imo government vows not to succumb to blackmail. Okay, if you're interested in that one, details on page 39.
All right, let's look at the This Day newspaper. And the This Day, of course, talks about what apparently would be good news within the government, you know, circles, which is that external reserves hit 5-year high of $46 billion, inch up to $50 billion. And this is coming after the federal government issued Euro bonds of $2.5 billion. And
so they're being oversubscribed too.
Yeah, and the thing rose from 38.9 billion to, of course, $46 billion as it were. So, well, that's there's a sense in which you can say that this is something for those
government to cheer about, but it's still not where it should be. Countries like Saudi Arabia that are, you know, oil-bearing or oil-producing like Nigeria, close to $1 trillion.
The effect of all of these on the mass of the people, that's where
the question
lies. That's where the question is. Still on the front page of the This Day newspaper, South Africa leads foreign participation as designers for Fashion Week, you know, unveiled and all of that. And CBN is asking court to slam First Bank with $122 billion judgment. Pick up the This Day newspaper and find out more about what the story is. All right, that's it on the front page.
Okay, I guess we have the final paper this morning. Vanguard is our last paper to look at. Banks hiding fraud cases from regulators. That's the NDIC making that one public. That's the Deposit and Insurance Commission. Right there. Says banks lose 2.3 billion naira to fraudsters in 2017 alone. That's huge. And adds electronic fraud accounts for 1.5 billion naira of the loss. Okay, let's just leave that one. FG raises excise duty on alcoholic drinks, tobacco. You heard that already. 9 banks battle decline in interest income. What else do we have here? As President visits Benue today, what we want from Buhari by Benue elders. Okay, it's good that they're coming with a shopping list of what they want from Mr. President, and let's hope he can actually meet their demands so that we can have an end to this vicious cycle of herdsmen, farmers attacks. Now, 350 Niger Delta ex-militants to earn salaries soon. Who's going to be paying them? Well, it's the federal government that's actually telling us this one. Herdsman Buhari told us to stop encroachment on cattle routes. That's Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose saying there. Okay, let's just... we're done with the paper review this morning.
All right. Yeah, absolutely.
You found something else?
Yeah, just before we go, let's not forget that U.S. Secretary of State Tillerson will arrive Nigeria today. If all things go as planned.
Of course, he's on a 5-nation tour of Africa.
Yes, that's it. He will arrive here today.
Yeah. All right, stay with us. We'll take a very short breather. When we come back, we'll get into this land use charge issue. What exactly is it all about and why is it coming now? What does the Lagos State government stand to benefit and how does it benefit you as a Lagosian? Stay with us.